producing
From listening to records, I just knew what to do. I mainly taught myself. And, I did pretty well, except there were a few mistakes that I made that I have just recently cleared up. I'd like to just continue to be able to express myself as best as I can on the instrument. I feel like I have a lot of work to do still. I'm a student of the drums. And I'm also a teacher of the drums too.
Assimilating and distributing all he receives slowly until it becomes a part of him.
to be able to continue to let what is inside of me, which comes from all the music that I hear, I'd like for that to come out. And it's like, it's not really me that's coming. The music's coming through me. The music's coming through me. It's coming through me. It's coming through me.
I have a selfish but persistent fantasy that somehow I become independently wealthy. Not ridiculously so, just enough to not have to work. And I abandon everything I know and love and travel all over the world, alone, for years, seeing just about every corner of the world, learning languages, customs, maybe working odd jobs here and there, chucking my cell phone and camera and social media accounts and going native, experiencing just to experience, maybe writing letters home or making precious long-distance phone calls from rickety payphones in Caracas, finally settling down in near old age in an unexpected village in a country nobody wants to visit, like the Ivory Coast, where the locals will refer to me secretly, though I know they do it, as something reverently dismissive, like the White Ghost. And I will tell interesting stories to the few Americans who come across me each year, drinking the local tea with them on my front porch, and hearing stories of back home, all the while wishing desperately they would leave as soon as possible, as I'm stuck in an infinite loop in the echo chamber. Some people think life exists only to be shared, or failing that, to be relayed, told in successive stories as though one might live forever, might freeze a moment even more efficiently than a photograph or a video, if only everything could be shared, shared, shared. One carries their past with them wherever they go, of course. Even in the Ivory Coast, I'd be Seth. I'd always have that rehab thing. A simple past I agonizingly try to turn torturous, like a prize I won, even if I was the white ghost. But long enough away from events, and enough time without forced shared experience, and you twin. Both you and your past exist simultaneously, together but separate. In my fantasy, as I move from place to place, I seem to carry a peculiar, almost eerie sense of quiet about with me. I think of ancient battlefields, and how their trenches are replaced with grass and wild flowers. I think of abandoned factories occupied by rust and birds. You walk around, and there's just a wind blowing gently, and a piece of metal banging somewhere, and the wide blue sky above your head. It's still a factory. It's still a battlefield. Time is like a gelatin we swim through. There have been times when I have felt a stranger in my own skin, as if I had been separated from myself. I would be crossing a street in broad daylight, and although I knew I was walking, I would feel as though I were dropping through the air. The two sensations would happen simultaneously, and they would both be true. The people who passed me on the street at times like that would see a man talking to himself, making a desperate attempt to hold himself together. There's nothing like morning time, wherever you are on this earth. The smell, always the smell. A kind of sweetness in the air, but thick too, cloying, like the scent of certain hydrangeas or moss. There's nothing fresh, not really, even at 5 in the morning. Only the sense of something being brought back to life. It is always the same day, I feel. The same day, endlessly reheated. It is in these restarts of dawn hours that we can melt into the world. I can feel the edges of my flesh dissolving. I am the same wood the boats are made of, the same as the water of the river. One flows straight into the other, with no frontiers, no distinctions. I am so wholly present that I am wholly absent. My body is a cage.